Okay, we'll start. Good afternoon, first of all, to everyone. So, actually, no, I wanted to have face-to-face students, because I have been feeling boredom to take classes seeing camera. So that's why I asked my team, even if 2 students, 3 students are there also, please ask them to come. It's okay, I will be taking face-to-face. So because, when it is face-to-face class, a kind of interaction will be there. You can understand what I am telling. I can see your face and know whether you understood or not. That is something which is missing for me in online live or recorded. So that's the reason why I asked. But thanks for coming. So first of all, and then hope you know about me. So my name is THARUN'S and I am taking indirect tax classes for last 15 years. And this is CA Intermediate GST regular batch. Okay. So usually for every 6 months, I'll be taking 2 batches for intermediate. One is regular, another one is fast track. That fast track batch, I'm doing it for free. So for quite a long time, I started it in 2020. So 2020 till now, every 6 months, I'm doing it for free in Mylapore Fine Arts Club. And the same classes we are recording and we are putting it on our YouTube channel, THARUN'S Brainery YouTube channel. So therefore, when you are attending these regular classes, if you are not able to understand certain things, or if you want to do revision also, don't worry, that fast track batch will be there in the YouTube, so you can watch that. Okay, so and this regular will be like 90 hours, 90 plus hours. So why, sir, 90 plus hours? Is it required that much time? Yes, because now taxation paper is for how many marks? 100. In the GST is 50 marks, correct? Now if you strategically see, DT is actually voluminous, GST is relatively less, but when we are scoring, we can easily score more marks in GST than in income tax. Reason is simple. In income tax, the retention capacity is very, very less. How much ever effort we may put, we cannot remember everything in the exam when it comes to DT, because DT provisions are little complex and lot of things will be there. Whereas GST is interconnected. One chapter to another chapter is interconnected and easily we can remember that, and exams also, the level of questions will not be very, very difficult and all than that of DT. So with due respect to DT, DT is a very good subject, you should definitely learn, but end of the day, in exam we need to strategize properly. Hope you understood what I am telling. I am not telling that DT is best subject, GST is best subject, no. DT is also good subject, GST is also good subject, but end of the day, what we need? How many marks we need? 300 out of 600, correct? If you are getting 1 mark less also, you are fail. If you get any extra marks, it's okay. We don't need that extra marks. To clear exam, how many marks we need? In total, 6 papers, 600. 600 half is how much? 300 marks is what we need. In the 300 marks, strategically, group 1, if you see, group 1, 300 marks. In that accounts, law and taxation. Okay. Accounts, it is like, if the paper is easy, your score will be in 80s. If the paper is difficult, your score will be in 50s. So it is like two-way, double-edged sword. Which one? Accounts paper. Law paper, how much ever you may prepare, but it is mostly like application based. They will give case study type questions. You need to apply that, and therefore you cannot expect full marks there. So you will be somewhere in 50s and 60s. Now taxation. Taxation, what happens is that in GST, I can easily bet you, you can score 40 to 45 out of 50 there itself. Now still how many marks we need? Some 15 marks if we need in income tax. So you are in 60, exemption guaranteed. You understood the strategy? But prepare DT also nicely, IDT also nicely, but exam focus should be on which subject? GST, IDT. Okay. So yes, please can sit. And therefore what I want to convey to you is that this 90 hours, if you wholeheartedly attend the lectures properly and try to be attentive in the class, so whatever I am telling, you are trying to listen and understand, thereafter you don't have to prepare anything. So this will be sufficient. Okay, so rest of the time you can focus on other subject including DT as well. Okay, so this 90 hours alone you need to focus for GST. Thereafter you do only the revision. Done? Hope you understood what we need to do. So now, how this 90 hours classes will be? So daily 2 hours, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. the class will be on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, and the classes will be completing by August first week maximum it will be completing. So because I have kept enough cushion, so because 90 hours means what, 45 days we need, but we have 2 months enough time, so therefore easily like we will be able to complete, don't worry about that. And after August the batch gets over, August 19th onwards I am taking a 5-day fast track batch, as I already told you in Mylapore Fine Arts Club. There you can come and attend. So you completed regular, thereafter you completed fast track 5 days, and then before your exam I will do a 1-day revision for GST, like a rocket revision. So that will be sufficient for your revision. So second revision, first you are attending the class, second fast track batch, 1 revision will happen, then again rocket revision. So that will be 1 day before exam. For example, tomorrow exam means today I will be doing a revision, so that it will be sufficient for you, and definitely you will be able to score minimum to minimum 40 to 45. If the paper is easy, 45 to guarantee, and little difficult, so 40 easily you will be able to do. Then, so you might have a doubt, sir, why should we attend your regular classes? Directly we can attend that fast track batch, so that can we cope up. You may expect 20 to 25 marks if you are attending that for the first time. I will tell you how it works is that subject you need to know thoroughly, then if you do the revision you will definitely understand it better. But directly when you come and do the revision, definitely that will not sink in your mind. So because in classroom or in this regular batch, what we do is that we will practice lots and lots of assignments. So I have given 2 books to you. One is this resource book on GST. So this resource book on GST will be comprehensive. What will be there in this resource book? There will be Bare Act. Bare Act means what? So for every section there will be a copy paste from the Act. For example, section 7. Section 7, so copy paste from the Act. Okay, and thereafter the analysis. So that section we are not going to read the Act as it is. So from that we are decoding and we are trying to analyze. After this we will do lot of assignments like this. So there will be some questions, blanks will be given, you will be trying the answers, and I will give you some time for that. So once your answers are done, then I will discuss. So you will immediately learn whether the concept what you have understood is correct or not, because we need to immediately implement into the question and answers. Okay, thereafter some illustrations also will be there, like how the questions will come in exam. So like that some illustrations also will be there, like question and answer type, problematic questions, that will also be there. So this book will be like thorough, sufficient, you don't have to refer study material. This resource book will be sufficient. Study material safely you can keep aside. Whatever is there in study material, everything I incorporated in this book. Okay, this is comprehensive, that too updated. Your study material is not updated. It was old book, and for that they have again given the statutory update. So one statutory update amendments they have released. So now this and this you need to read together, but what I did, everything I incorporated in the same book itself, so this book will be sufficient. And these assignments and all I was telling na, so this we will do in the class itself. This we will do in the class itself, all these questions. Then one more book I have given to you, that is practice manual. So this is the practice manual book, second book I have given. What is this practice manual? it contains chapter wise MCQs and past exam questions, RTP questions, MTP questions, everything is there in this book. Okay. So, and I gave the reference, I say study material questions are there, and then some past exam questions like November 18 question, and RTP questions is also included. So, you can see here some RTP questions also I have given, and MTP questions also I have given. Okay, November 20 question, like that. So, this book is purely for practice. So, what we will do, once every chapter gets completed, we will take this and we will solve the questions from this book itself. So, first understanding, then implementation. So, study material questions are covered, past exam questions are covered. So, these two books will be sufficient. Okay. So, this is how we are going to prepare, or we are going to complete this particular regular batch. So, because as we are doing this many things, so it will take easily time. That is why I told you 90 hours minimum that will be required for us. Done? Yes. And apart from this, what we will also be doing, sometimes there are certain things which we would like to write. Only when we write we can understand, and some interconnecting charts, provisions and all will be there. So, that I will give you. So, you maintain one notebook also. So, one small notebook will be sufficient, and in that notebook you just give the page numbers. Notebook you give the page numbers, and for example, I am discussing something here, and related to this I am giving you some notes. So, now in this page in your book you give the notebook page number reference, so that this book is the main book from which you will be reading. And when you are reading, this page comes, in this page your notebook reference will be there, so you can take the notebook. Otherwise, you do not know from where to read, whether you need to follow notebook or you need to follow the regular text, you do not know. So, that is why this text will be your main book, and anything extra that you are writing in your notebook, you give the notebook ka page number reference in this place. Hope you understood what I am telling. Yes? Done. So, let us see your question paper pattern. I do not know whether you are aware or not, because they have changed the syllabus from May 2024 onwards, and now your next attempt will be September 24. Are you aware? So, now the exam attempt is May, September and then January. You do not have a November attempt. Okay. So, therefore, I presume that you are appearing for September 24. Yes. So, if you are also appearing for Jan 25, this will be useful. But if you are appearing for May 25, there will be lot of amendments which will happen. So, now only the newly formed government has come now. So, this newly formed government will be making a budget, still not formed. Still this, it is like tug of war is happening. So, on one side India Alliance is there, on another side BJP is there. Now, two people are playing the game now. So, now we do not know which government will be formed. So, it will take 1 month for the government to form, and thereafter they will be coming out with the budget. Mostly it will take September. So, that amendments and all will be applicable for May 25 exam. You understood? So, for your September 24 and Jan 25, so this portion will be equally applicable. Okay. So, May 24, September 24 and Jan 25. May 24 attempt already over. So, this next two attempts, the same portion will be there. You do not have to worry about amendments. In September month, some budget may come. You do not worry if you are appearing for Jan 25. That is not applicable for you. That will be applicable for those students who are appearing for May 25. Okay. So, what is your paper pattern? Question paper pattern, if you see, question paper pattern. So, this is paper 3. Your paper 3 is taxation. So, every paper now they are making MCQ also. So, you have two parts in this. Part A is actually MCQ part, and part B is descriptive part. And in this MCQ part, so it is for 30 marks. But if a student asks me, sir, is this MCQ a bankable area? So MCQ is 30 marks. Can we score some 20 marks, 25 marks easily from that? No. The answer is no. Because these MCQs are the critical area for CA intermediate exam. It's not a scoring area. Many people will say MCQs, okay, inky pinky ponky we will do. So 4 options, 1 option we will select. What if 4 options are correct? 4 options seems correct. It is like 4 Chinese people sitting in a bench. You get a photo and you need to select. No, Chinese people you have seen, everyone look the same only. Correct. How will you choose? Like that the options are. You do a mistake and you arrive at one answer. That answer will be there in the option. What you will think, that answer is correct and you will select it. But that answer will be wrong. You got it? So they put lot of efforts in making the MCQs. And MCQs are becoming so difficult nowadays in CA exam. Due to that reason, this part A is a scoring area only when you learn the subject. Without learning subject, if you practice some 200 MCQs, I will practice, sir. Will I be getting 20 marks out of 30? No, you will not get. So only when you learn the subject thoroughly. May 24 MCQ paper came out. And I have seen that, that's why I am telling you. Usually MCQ paper is not available for public domain. But somehow the paper has come out. And even I posted a video explaining those MCQs in my YouTube channel also. So I have seen that, and that's why I am telling you, only if you wholeheartedly know the subject, these MCQs will be a scoring, otherwise not. Okay. But in descriptive, this 70 marks is descriptive. In this, what they are doing, they are making it like 2 sections. Section A, section B, and section A is income tax, section B is GST, and in this actually question number 1 is compulsory, and that question number 1 is for 15 marks. I am talking about income tax. Okay, 115 marks question. This is on computation of total income. So total income computation question will be there for 15 marks. So that is a compulsory question. So means you need to know the provisions of all the 5 heads of income. Income tax, have you attended any classes? So far attended or not started? Attended little bit. Okay, fine. So 5 heads of income is there na. So from that 5 heads of income, computation of total income question will be there for 15 marks, and any 2 questions out of 3, 10 marks each. Okay, same way. So total how many marks here? 35 marks. 115 marks and 2 10 marks. Same way in GST also, question number 1 is compulsory, and this question number 1 is a compulsory question for 15 marks. But here what they did is that this 15 marks question, so they are not giving as a single question, they made it like 10 marks and 5 marks, 2 questions. But here this is also on many chapters, it's not just on one chapter. So cumulatively, like taxable event, value of supply, place of supply, time of supply, covering all those chapters, they are coining the questions. So as I already told you, indirect tax or income tax, this taxation is basically an interconnected subject. So from one chapter to another chapter, definitely there will be lot of connection will be there. So you should not miss out. So my humble request to you is that please try to attend the classes regularly. Okay, so if not, extreme cases, what should we do, sir? Maybe health reason or rain, sir, what can we do in that case? So don't worry, during that time, we will give you the online live. Okay, so suppose if rain is coming, you are not able to come, so we will give you the online live in that case. And say you are not feeling well, in that case, what we should do, sir? So if we miss the class, we are giving 40% of this class as a backup. So which means around some 30 to 35 hours will be available to you as a backup. So what you can do, whenever you miss any class, so in that backup you will be, the entire 90 hours will be with you, but you can watch it only for some 30 hours like that, for example. So you can see that any lecture you can watch, any lecture which you are missing. And say today the lecture gets over, we will be uploading it tomorrow. So therefore tomorrow morning when we upload it, before coming to the class, today lecture you missed, you can watch that and you can come, so that the continuity also will not be missed. Okay. Then, so question number 1 is compulsory, and same way here also. And any 2 questions out of 3, and which is 10 marks each. Okay, so this is actually your question paper pattern, and these MCQs also, you don't have direct MCQs. Direct MCQs means question and options, not like that. So mostly it will be like case scenario MCQs. Case scenario MCQs means, so one big paragraph they will be giving, like 1 page, 1.5 page question will be there, and from that question they create the MCQs. So these case study type MCQs, how it will be, etc., you can see in your practice manual. You see your practice manual, at the end I have given this case scenario MCQ questions. You can just take that and see. Appendix B, which is in page 176. Page 176, last, if you see, book you can collect down. So this is how the case scenario MCQs. So they will give a paragraph first, and then there will be some questions based on that paragraph. So literally like a practical question only. Usually how a practical question will be like that only. But only thing here, we don't have to do any computations, in the sense like presentation we don't have to do. All computations we need to do, and based on this question only, the answers we need to select in this MCQs. So this is how in CA intermediate exam they are giving the MCQs. It's not like regular, like 1 question and 1 MCQ, not that way. So case scenario MCQ is only major, but for some marks they are giving this like single MCQ question also. For example, like this. So like this also sometimes the MCQs will be. This is the regular MCQ. Few, like some 5 marks to 10 marks it will be like this, but majorly 20 marks will be case scenario MCQs only. But we are going to cover all types of MCQs in the class itself. The case scenario MCQs, the single MCQs, everything we will try to solve. Okay. Then next thing, moving further, so you might be knowing about taxation. So what is taxation? Actually, why tax is required? Why tax is required? Government is only collecting tax. Why they are collecting? For what reason? Huh? It's a revenue to government. Why government needs revenue? So tax is nothing but government's revenue. Super. Why government needs revenue? To spend. Anyone, why they need revenue? To spend. So what is that spending called as? Public expenditure. So what are these public expenditure? Laying down roads, construction of water supply equipments or bridges, dams. There are a lot of irrigation expenditure is there, and lot of money they are giving to the poor. So they are giving 1,000 rupees for Pongal, 1,000 rupees for Diwali, correct or not? So all this money is actually what? Tax revenue. And this tax revenue is divided into two. Two major tax revenues are there to the government: direct tax revenue and indirect tax revenue. What's the difference between direct and indirect tax? Direct versus indirect tax. What's the difference? Direct. Here direct, sir. There indirect, sir. Apart from that, what is the difference? What is the difference between direct and indirect tax? Somewhere you would have studied. Now, be open. You can tell wrong also. No issue. Here hardly we have very less number. So therefore, no one will laugh at you and all. Even if it is wrong, you tell. Then only you will learn. Okay? Yes. No. So if it is on income, sir said it is direct tax, and if it is on expenditure, it is indirect tax. No, indirect tax is also on income. Example, you pay fees, that's income for me. I have to pay GST on that. So both direct and indirect tax is on revenue, that is income. Okay, but the difference is what? You are trying something. So we pay out of our pocket, but indirect tax, we can recover it from the next person. So that is the difference. So remember, burden. In case of direct tax, the burden is on the person who is paying it. But in case of indirect tax, the burden gets shifted to the next person. So who will have the ultimate burden of indirect tax? Consumer. Consumer. So those who are consuming the product or those who are consuming the service, they will have the burden of indirect tax. Now simple. You join this classes. We are charging fees for that. Now fees plus GST we are charging. Now GST I will pay to government, but in turn I am recovering it from you. Then who is having the burden? So for this service, who is the consumer? You are the consumer. You buy one biscuit packet, and when you buy a biscuit packet for 20 rupees, in the 20 rupees there is GST, and who will pay GST to government? The trader will pay, but in turn recovered it from you. So the consumer will have the ultimate burden of indirect taxes. It is like, if I slap you, you feel the pain, that is direct tax. If I slap you, you in turn slap, and if that continues till the consumer, that is indirect tax. You understood or not? In a way, indirect tax is the largest source of revenue to government, you know. Direct tax and indirect tax, you know, which is a major source of revenue to government? Indirect tax, not direct tax. So why, sir, like that? Because indirect tax, people don't know that they are paying, but they are paying. Sir, a beggar buying a bun also will have a GST. Correct or not? So they don't know that they are paying taxes. So because we see the commodity, say I am buying this, I see the commodity, but in this commodity itself there is a tax. And you won't believe, you know, what is your favorite car? SUV, some good SUV. You like Mahindra Thar, you know? Okay, Mahindra Thar. You know what is a Mahindra Thar cost? 10 lakhs? What is the 10 lakhs? Ex-showroom price. 10 lakhs is ex-showroom price. Sir, then there is GST on that. Okay, you know what is the rate of GST on SUVs? 28% GST, and there is something called as compensation cess, 22%. So if the car value is 10 lakhs, let's take, okay, so majority of the SUVs will be in this range, ex-showroom. Add GST. How much is GST rate? I told you 28%. So 28% means what? 2,80,000. And compensation cess, there is something called as compensation cess. That compensation cess is 22%. So that will come to 2,20,000. Okay. So now this is 15 lakhs. And on the top of this, there is something called as registration charges, insurance, etc. That will go to state government. Okay. So now up to this itself, you see, you buy a car for 10 lakhs, but you are paying 5 lakhs literally as tax. Means when you buy a SUV, one budget car is inside that SUV. Correct or not? 5 lakhs, one budget car we will get, normal, Alto 800 like that. So it is inside that. Where is that? Inside that SUV. Okay. You cannot see it. Why you cannot see? 5 lakhs you are paying. Sir, a car manufacturer will not get this much money, but government is getting this much money. Okay. So therefore, definitely there is a huge source of revenue to government in the form of indirect tax. But the person who is buying the car, what he will think? He will think, I am paying 15 lakhs to the car. He don't know that he is paying 5 lakhs extra for GST. He will think, okay, this car is worth 15 lakhs. That's why I am purchasing this car. They don't know. You understood what I am telling? So this is the fate of lot of citizens today in India that they don't know that they are paying indirect tax, but they are paying. So therefore, government also gets a huge revenue in that way in the form of indirect taxes than income tax. You got it? So it is a major source of revenue to government. Our subject. So that's why our subject is so important. You understood or not? So indirect tax is the major source of revenue to government. Fine. So you got the difference between direct and indirect tax? Yes. So basically in direct tax what will happen? Burden will be on the person who is paying it. Whereas in indirect taxes what will happen? The burden will get shifted to the next person. So who will have the ultimate burden? Consumer. Another difference is that direct tax is actually progressive in nature, but indirect tax is regressive in nature. What is the difference between progressive and regressive? Progressive means if you are earning more money, you have to pay more income tax, because income tax have a slab rate model. Up to 5 lakhs, this much, 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, 20%. So 10 lakhs and above, 30%. When you start increasing your income, so you have to pay more income tax. That is called as progressive in nature. But indirect tax is regressive. Irrespective of your income capacity, you have to pay the same amount of tax. You understood? Example, you go to a cinema. Everyone will go to cinema theatre, correct? And on cinema theatre, you know what is the rate of GST? 28%. Sir, rich person also will go to cinema theatre. Poor person also will go to cinema theatre. But the tax is same. That is called as regressive in nature. You understood? So direct tax is progressive in nature. Indirect tax is regressive in nature. So that is another difference between direct and indirect tax. Okay. Now, one more difference also I will tell you. Direct tax is on income, whereas indirect tax is on revenue. What is the difference between revenue and income? Both synonyms only, na sir? No. You give me money, you pay fees. On that fees I have to pay GST. That fees is gross or net? Gross. And I have expenses, correct or not? What expenses I have? Book. For book you didn't pay. Book cost is there. Rent cost is there. EB cost is there. Correct or not? All these things I will reduce. Now what is left? Profit. What is left? Profit. On that profit I need to pay income tax. Are you getting? Sir, I am paying both, sir. Sir, like that, whether on every transaction there will be both indirect tax as well as income tax? Majority of the transactions, majority, I didn't say all, mark my words, I didn't say all, I said majority of the transactions, there will be both income tax as well as indirect tax. But exceptions are there. Sometimes there will be indirect tax, no income tax. Sometimes income tax will be there, indirect tax will not be there. But 95% of the transactions that we see in our daily life, there will be both income tax as well as indirect tax. You take a chartered accountant who do consulting, he gets a fees, consulting fees. On that he need to pay GST. Thereafter, so we will be doing this PGBP, profits and gains of business or profession, take out the expenses, depreciation, etc. Now profit is left. On that profit he need to pay income tax. Trader you take, trader, sales he will pay GST, sales minus purchase profit, he will pay income tax. Are you understanding this? Then you take rental income. I have a property, commercial property, I give it on rent. On rent, I have to pay GST. Then I have to pay income tax also. Income from house property, I have to pay income tax also. But while paying income tax, what they are telling? Standard deduction, we will give you some 30%. And interest on borrowed capital, you can reduce, like that they are telling. But literally, there is a kind of reduction that happens in case of income tax, but in GST always it is on the gross. Moreover, in case of indirect tax, if you see, so why I am telling about GST only for indirect tax, because the major indirect tax is GST, and one more indirect tax we have is customs. That's why I am giving you examples related to GST, and customs you don't have in syllabus. You have only GST in the syllabus. Thank God, if customs also they keep, then it will be 100 marks paper. that will come at CA final level. Okay, in CA final, the same GST will again repeat, but little deep. So now you will not be learning certain provisions like penalties, appeals, offences, and thereafter demand and recovery, refunds. All these things you will not be learning at this stage. So you will be learning in final level. Plus you will also be learning something called as customs. It is another indirect tax, that is customs duty, that also you will learn at final level. But the advantage of learning GST at inter level, first advantage, it will be helpful for CA final. In CA final, in 2 subjects it will be helpful. CA final, there is a paper called as IBS, Integrated Business Solutions is there. That IBS is actually cumulative of all subjects. They will coin questions based on all subjects, and it's an open book you can carry. So in suitcase, no, recently in May 24 exam hall, so suitcase and all they brought books, all subjects, DT, IDT, FR, AFM, law, every subject they will test in that exam. So that exam is for 4 hours, 4 case studies they will give. So you need to answer that. So it will be so fun. Okay, so it's like 4 hours, but you will not have time to search, and tab not allowed. If tab or laptop is allowed, Control F, we can search and we can find the answer, but that is not allowed. We have to turn the pages, and when we turn the pages, answer will be there only, but we will not be able to see. That is a big problem, and there it will be helpful. Plus you have an indirect tax paper for 100 marks. Okay, so for this approximately 125 to 130 marks it will be useful, because IBS 20 to 30 marks will be indirect tax portion. Okay, so then second advantage, you have a 2 years articleship. After your intermediate you have a 2 years articleship. This 2 years articleship is so crucial, because if your articleship is in a good firm, automatically your job will also be in a good company. That's directly proportional. Lot of students, CA students, will aim for getting placed in big fours. You know why? What could be the reason? Because these big fours will have lot of clients which are top-notch companies, big companies like manufacturing companies, automobile companies. These big companies will be their clients. Now you are going in big four and you are working there, means you will get access to those big companies, because as an auditor you will be going for statutory audit and all, you will assist. So then you know who are all the HR people over there, and the moment you complete CA, you can forward your resume there, and there you will get placed. And as you are from big four, easily they will take you, because they know your quality. And your pay scale will be starting with 12 lakhs to 18 lakhs. That will be your pay scale per annum. You understood? 12 lakhs to 18 lakhs means what? 1.5 lakh per month. You understood? So that's why the articleship firm should be very good. And not only big fours, there are very good firms also. So apart from big fours like PwC, Deloitte, then EY, so KPMG, apart from this there are some other firms also. So like BDO is there, so then some other companies like TNM Associates is there, so like second range. So a lot of firms are there, you will definitely be able to get placed over there, and thereafter your career will be very good. Okay, that should be your aim. Now to get placed in these article firms, it's not that easy, na? Sir, I cleared CA inter, take me. No, they will conduct an interview. The big, like these articleship firms, they will conduct interview. CA firms will conduct interview. In that interview, definitely they will be asking questions on taxation, because that is very much connected. On accounting standards and on taxation only they will ask the questions. At that time when they ask a question and you will able to reply to them, you are getting placed there, then your career will start from there itself. You understood? That's why prepare this GST subject very well, so that it will be helpful to you till your CA final and during your articleship also. The moment you clear your CA final, so in first attempt, definitely, see, intermediate you can take n number of attempts also, no issue. but final should be first attempt. You understood what I am telling? Because no one will know whether you took one attempt or two attempts in inter. Final they will easily be knowing, because in resume you need to mention in how many attempts you took for clearing the final. Final definitely they are expecting, who job market, but intermediate they are not asking. Got it? So that's why final should be in first attempt, for that the foundation should start here itself. Got it? Fine. And this difference what I told you about direct tax, indirect tax, etc. and all, you can see in the first page of your book. So this is your index, you can see the index page. So total 16 segments that we have. The index page you can see total 16 segments we have: introduction, supply, liability to pay GST, etc. So in these 16 segments, so I have given the ICAI chapter reference also. You can see the ICAI chapter reference on the last column. Okay, that is your ICAI study material. So, but I didn't give in the same sequence, like how your ICAI study material is there, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, I didn't give, because so in order to understand it with some easy way, so that's why I just divided the chapters. Okay, but all the chapters of ICAI I have covered in this. And in that, the first segment, segment 1, introduction to GST, there you can see this is the discussion I have made. So when it comes to taxation, so what is tax? Tax is a source of revenue. You only said, na, tax is a source of revenue to the government. You can see here. So what is tax? Tax is basically a major source of revenue. For what purpose it is a major source of revenue? To meet the public expenditure, correct? And the tax is divided into two. What are the two things? Direct tax and indirect tax. And here these are the major indirect taxes that we have at the present. At present, what are the various indirect taxes we have? Major GST and customs duty. In the past, we had lots of indirect taxes and that got subsumed into GST. Okay, so that's what we are trying to understand now. So what are the various indirect taxes that we had in the past and how it got subsumed? You don't have to write that, just look into the screen, that is sufficient. Previously, we had various indirect taxes levied by central government, called as central excise duty. Central excise duty. This central excise duty was levied in the past. Today it is not there. It was levied in the past on manufacture. Whenever you manufacture a product, you need to pay central excise duty. Okay. Then there used to be something called as service tax. So on manufacturers, there used to be central excise duty. On service providers, there used to be service tax, and then on traders, business means these three only, na? Manufacturer, trader, service provider, correct? On manufacturers, what duty? Excise duty. On traders, central sales tax, central sales tax. Then on service providers, service tax. Then on importers and exporters, okay, there used to be customs duty. Who levied these four? Central government or state government? Who levied? Central government. So these four were levied by central government. Central government levy. Okay. And central excise duty on whom? Yeah? On whom? Manufacturer. Okay. Then service tax, service providers. Then central sales tax, traders. And customs duty, importers or exporters. Okay. Now, this is before 1/7/2017. With effect from 1/7/2017, what has happened? These central excise duty, service tax and central sales tax got merged into GST. What is the full form of GST? Goods and Services Tax. Got the clarity? So what is the date from which GST is implemented in India? 1/7/2017. Okay, 1st July 2017 is the effective date of implementation of GST in India. Is GST a new tax? No, GST is not a new tax. Already there were lot of indirect taxes in the past. You know now what is the difference between direct and indirect? Just now I told you. There were lot of indirect taxes in the past. Those indirect taxes, they subsumed into GST. So it is like lot of things we put in a mixie and you grind it, we get a dish, na, that is GST. But GST is not something new, you got it. And so this GST is by subsuming old indirect taxes. Whether customs duty got subsumed into GST? Whether customs duty got subsumed into GST? No, they just kept it aside. So means that is continuing. Even today it will continue. But what are the three indirect taxes levied by central government that got subsumed into GST? Central excise duty, service tax and central sales tax. Okay. So these were levied by central government. So like this, whether state government is also levying any indirect taxes? Yes, they have levied lot of indirect taxes, they levied. Who? State government. State government levied lot of indirect taxes, but in that the 6 indirect taxes levied by state government got subsumed into GST. What are those 6? Have you heard of this VAT? VAT, value added tax. This was levied on traders by whom? State government. And then have you heard of this entertainment tax? Still even today it is there. So but this entertainment tax, which is still today, is not levied by state government. It is levied by local authority. Okay. But in the past there used to be entertainment tax levied by state government. Name same but different. You understood? Same but different, like that. So entertainment tax previously state government has levied. On whom? You know, actors. So those who act in the movie, they have to pay entertainment tax. Okay. And those who act in the serials, they need to pay entertainment tax. And this DTH, that is dish, etc., they are also required to pay entertainment tax. When? Before. And who used to levy that? State government. Okay. So that entertainment tax. Then advertisement tax. Advertisement tax. This advertisement tax is on the hoardings. If you see in roadside big hoardings and all, you will see, na, they are not leaving anything. Bus also they are putting full ads. Correct? I don't mean to say about any specific person. Generally, so lot of gold shop ads and coaching center ads and all, full bus they are covering, na. So this is called as advertisement. When you do advertisement, you need to pay tax. You got it? Unfortunately, it is not there today because it got subsumed into GST. Then luxury tax. Luxury tax. Luxury tax, like that it was there, sir. Yes, it was there on hotels. So where people will be feeling luxurious, hotel only, correct or not? So because when I go to hotel, last month and all, fully I was in vacation, and when I go to hotel, na, that bed and all will be so soft. Have you seen hotel bed? So soft, it like spring kind of it will be. And after sleeping there, when I come and sleep in my home, na, I am not able to get sleep here. I don't know. So luxury we feel, na, in hotels. That's why pay tax, luxury tax. Okay. On hotels we used to pay luxury tax. Then octroi. Maybe while doing final accounts, you would have heard this word, octroi. This octroi, also known as entry tax. Entry tax. That is whenever some goods are entering into the premises, like this state, from other state to this state, when the goods are entering, this state will be levying, for example, goods are coming from Andhra to Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu will be levying octroi, called as entry tax. That too in the past, not today. Okay. Then finally, so VAT, entertainment tax, advertisement tax, luxury tax, octroi, and betting or gambling tax. Betting or gambling tax, including on lotteries, lottery tickets, betting transactions, horse racings, etc. Not only in income tax, but even indirect tax used to be there, called as betting and gambling tax. These 6 indirect taxes levied by whom here? Levied by state government. State government levy. So with effect from what is the date? 1/7/2017, all these things got subsumed into GST. Okay. Now, what are the 2 points you need to remember? How GST is formed? How GST is formed is a question. What is it you will write first? Indirect taxes levied by central government, except customs duty, got subsumed into GST. Point number 1. Point number 2. Specific indirect taxes levied by state government. What are the specific indirect taxes levied by state government? Not all state government levies subsumed into GST. These 6 only. Apart from the 6, is there anything else, sir? Yes. Municipal tax is there, property tax is there, registration tax is there, mandi tax, like that it is there. In Karnataka, on these wholesalers there is something called as mandi tax. Then in Maharashtra there is something called as local body tax. These taxes and all not got subsumed into GST, even though levied by the state government. These 6 indirect taxes levied by state government only got subsumed into GST. What are they? Value added tax, entertainment tax, advertisement tax, luxury tax, octroi, and betting tax. These 6 levied by state government got subsumed into GST. Now, third point to remember, sir, entertainment tax, you said it got subsumed into GST. But even today in cinema theaters there is entertainment tax. What is that entertainment tax? That's not levied by state government, that's levied by local authority, corporation, GCC, Greater Chennai Corporation is there, na? They are levying. Like that in India, there are a lot of local authorities, municipalities or corporations, they are levying this entertainment tax. Got it? Then, is this the only tax which corporations or local authorities levying? No. There are many local authority levies, but which not got subsumed into GST. You got it? So, third point, whether indirect taxes levied by local authority got subsumed into GST? No, not got subsumed into GST. So, this is the discussion you need to remember. So, look into page number 5. Look into page number 5. I will be jumping between the pages. Don't worry, I will cover everything, but in a logical sequence we need to follow, that's all. Okay. So, look into page number 5, taxes subsumed into GST. What are the various taxes that got subsumed into GST? Levied by central government, few taxes are there, na? Central sales tax, then central sales tax, service tax, central excise duty, even additional customs duty, like that, something called CVD and SAD, additional customs duties. Sir, you said customs duty not got subsumed into GST. Yes, true. Customs duty not got subsumed into GST, but there is something called as additional customs duties. So, these additional customs duties are to counterbalance excise duty and sales tax. Example, sir, what is your name? K7, I'll make it K7. So, Mr. K7. So, what Mr. K7 is doing, this story is before 1/7/2017, okay. So, I am not talking about GST regime, before GST regime, okay. So, Mr. K7 imported a smartphone, okay. What's your name, pa? Akash. So Mr. Akash, so he is like, he has a lot of devotion towards the country, so he don't want to import and all, so he is purchasing local, okay, made in India, okay. So locally purchased smartphone. Done. Now I am talking about before not 1/7/2017. Now on Mr. Kesavan, will there be excise duty? Will there be excise duty? No, because is the smartphone manufactured in India? What Kesavan is doing? Importing, okay. So when you are importing, where is it manufactured? Import means you know na. What is import? From outside India to India. Where is it manufactured? Outside India. Can we go and levy central excise duty there? They will take stone and hit, correct or not? How Indian government will go and ask them to pay tax and all? Not possible. So as the product is not manufactured in India, central excise duty is on whom? Manufacturer. Where the product is manufactured? Outside India. So central excise duty cannot be levied. Am I right? Okay. Service tax not applicable, because the product it is not service, it is a product. Service tax not applicable. Central sales tax, no, it is not sold in India, it is sold from there. So sales tax also cannot be levied. Customs duty, yes, because the product is imported. So now on Mr. Kesavan, there will be customs duty on smartphone. Okay. Now Mr. Akash is purchasing locally. When he is purchasing locally, where is it manufactured? In India. So will there be central excise duty? Yes, because he is purchasing locally means the product is manufactured. Sir, which smartphone is manufactured in India, sir? It was there at that time. Today it is not there. So today also foreign company is coming here and manufacturing. So we killed many smartphone companies. We killed. Micromax, rest in peace. Lava, Cellcon. Have you heard of these names and all? It was there once upon a time. They were like smartphone manufacturers in India. Only thing we went for Apple, Pineapple, Samsung, like that. All fruits and vegetables we started purchasing. So because of that, gone, market gone. And so locally also manufacturing is done, and then they need to pay excise duty. When they pay excise duty, will they pay out of their pocket? Right now we are talking about what? Direct tax or indirect tax? Indirect tax. Indirect tax will always be recovered from the next person, correct? So even though the manufacturer pay excise duty, he will in turn recover it from Mr. Akash, correct or not? Now first of all, to make that smartphone, raw material needs to be imported, correct? Not entire raw material is available in India. See, the basic raw material in a smartphone is what? Integrated circuit. The chip is there, silicon chip. That chip itself needs to be imported, because there is no one in India who is manufacturing. You got it? Now why in India the manufacturing industry is not that great is because of the lack of raw material manufacturers. Had we got good raw material manufacturers, so India would have been different. So what other countries are able to achieve which India could not achieve is this only. So you take the gadget, any gadget you take, laptop, tab, smartphone, everything, in that the raw material, the glass is there, display glass, then the integrated circuit, storage devices, all these are not manufactured in India. It is imported. What we are manufacturing is battery, charger, cables. This is what we are manufacturing. But everything else is being imported into India. Are you understanding this? So therefore, here what happens? First on Akash, what are all the tax burdens we are analyzing? So the manufacturer will pay customs duty on raw material. In turn, he will recover it from him. Correct. Then excise duty on smartphone. Am I right? That will also be recovered from him. Then the manufacturer in India is selling the smartphone. Correct. Means he need to pay sales tax. That also he will recover from him. So sales tax and smartphone. Now you tell me, who is having more tax burden? Keshavana, Akasha? Who is having more tax burden? Akash or Keshavan? Akash. So which means indirectly you are telling it is better to import rather than locally purchasing. Correct? Yes or no? It is better to import than locally purchase. If this happens, what will happen to India? If this continues, if we stop purchasing locally and start importing everything, what will happen? Deficit balance of payment. What is deficit balance of payment? We have to pay forex, but we don't have that much of revenue in forex. Correct? We have to pay in dollars, but we don't have dollars. What will happen in that case? They will demand for dollars. So then $1 equals to 60 rupees will become $1 equals to 80. Already happened. $1 equals to 80 will become $1 equals to 100, 150, like that. You understood? So this is the risk of having huge imports and less exports. So that situation will arise. So which is good for the economy? Encouraging imports or discouraging imports? Discouraging imports. Now, you are appointed as the finance minister in this NDA 3.0. Okay. Now, NDA government has formed. Everyone is asking ministry post, we will also ask. Okay. And now you have been appointed as a finance minister. You tell me, what will you do here to reduce the import? To reduce import, you have two options. You select any one option out of this. Option number 1, we will remove these two. We will remove these two, so that customs duty on raw material versus customs duty on smartphone, which will have more burden? Customs duty on smartphone. So people will not import, they will buy locally. This is option A. Okay, what is option A? Remove excise duty and sales tax on locally manufactured. Option B, you create excise duty and sales tax on imported product. So on imported smartphone, there is customs duty, there is excise duty, there is sales tax. Now which one will you prefer? Import or local purchase? Local purchase. So you have two options, option A, option B. You tell me which option you choose. Why option B? Very good. Like you only, finance minister also will think and start sucking our blood. You understood or not? How you are thinking, same from us only. So Nirmala Chechi also came, you understood. So therefore what she is telling was, excise duty on smartphone and sales tax on smartphone already there. We will create a parallel to this in order to discourage import. What is that? To counter effect this excise duty, we create something called as CVD. Okay, countervailing duty. Okay. Then to counter effect this sales tax, we will create a alternative SAD, special additional duty. What is the full form of CVD? Countervailing duty. What is the full form of SAD? Special additional duty. So now CVD is to counterbalance excise duty, SAD is to counterbalance sales tax. So they created a duplicate. What is the duplicate of excise duty? CVD. What is the duplicate of sales tax? SAD. Okay. Now people will definitely not import, they will buy locally. You got it? Understood up to this? What is CVD and SAD? What is the full form of CVD? Countervailing duty. Why? To counterbalance excise duty on like article imported into India. Correct? Then SAD is what? Special additional duty. To counterbalance what? Sales tax on like article which is imported, there is no sales tax, so they levy something called as SAD. Done? Now we will do the time travel after 1/7/2017, that is with effect from 1/7/2017. What happened to excise duty? What happened to excise duty with effect from 1/7/2017? GST. Super. What happened to sales tax? Came into GST. So with effect from 1/7/2017, as excise duty and sales tax got subsumed into GST, so the CVD and SAD, which is nothing but the alternative to excise duty and sales tax also got subsumed into GST. You understood? Got the clarity? So therefore, what is the first point you need to remember? All indirect taxes levied by central government except customs duty, but including additional customs duties. What are the additional customs duties? CVD and SAD got subsumed into GST. Okay. So this 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 are levied by central government that got subsumed into GST. Please write there 1, 2, 3, 4. This 1, 2, 3, 4 which is levied by central government got subsumed into GST. Then below in the same page, in the footnote I have given what is CVD, what is SAD, etc. Read that once for yourself. Customs duty is not part of GST, but additional customs duties like countervailing duty. What is the full form of CVD? Countervailing duty. For what reason? To counterbalance excise duty. And SAD full form special additional duty. To counterbalance what? Sales tax are forming part of GST. Next. So what are the indirect taxes levied by state government that got subsumed into GST? Value added tax and purchase tax. Then tax on lottery, betting and gambling, entertainment tax and luxury tax. So this 5, 6, 7 levied by state government got subsumed into GST. Understood? 2 points. Then see the footnote, see the last line. Also entertainment taxes levied by local bodies are outside the purview of GST. So whether any tax levied by local authority got subsumed into GST? No, not got subsumed into GST. Can you remember these points here? Then, so now come back to the first page where we started. So what are the various major indirect taxes that we have at present? GST and customs. Now you understood why we have only 2 at present. What happened to remaining that got subsumed into GST? Now, what are the major features of indirect taxes? So I told you one point, if you remember, in our discussion so far. I told you indirect tax is a major source of revenue to government. Did I tell? See the first point. An important and major source of tax revenue to government. Same page, page number 1. Then, an indirect tax is on income or revenue? Revenue. Income tax is on income. Indirect tax is on revenue, that is gross. Okay, read that. Tax is on income. Tax is not on income. That is, indirect tax is not on income, but on revenue from sale of goods or services. So what's the difference between revenue and income? Revenue means gross, whereas income means revenue minus expenses. Then this third point also I told you, liability is on one person, but the burden is on another person. Correct? So liability is on one person and burden is on another person. Who is that another person? Ultimate consumer. Then next I told you, lot of people in India are paying indirect taxes. Did I tell? Everyone, irrespective of their income capacity, everyone is paying indirect taxes. So wider tax base, as more number of people are paying indirect tax rather than direct tax. You know, what is the percentage of population in India which is paying income tax? Hardly 6%. That is also higher side. 6% of the population in India. What is the population of India? 150? 150 crores? I don't know. It would have crossed that. We crossed China now. We are number 1. Okay. So maybe here climatic conditions are so good that, you know, continuous production is happening, and this, you know, number 1, 150 crores in that single digit. hardly 5% people are only paying income tax. Remaining are not paying. But indirect tax, everyone will be paying indirect taxes. Okay. So that's what, wider tax base. And it is progressive in nature or regressive in nature? Indirect tax. Regressive in nature. It is regressive in nature and creates income disparities. What is the difference between progressive and regressive? I gave there. Progressive means if you have more income, you will pay more tax. Whereas regressive means irrespective of your income, you will pay the same tax. Then one more thing they gave, it's humbug. Promote social welfare as high rates of tax are levied on tobacco products. They are telling, as we are levying more tax on tobacco, people will stop consuming tobacco. True or false? False, sir, false. Sir, just because there is more rates on tobacco, why people will stop consuming tobacco? Nothing like that. Okay. Always they will be rubbing like that and putting in the mouth and all. So they will not stop. Cigarettes no one will stop and tobacco no one will stop. So this is humbug. Reality it is wrong. Maybe theoretically they gave it, but reality it is not at all correct. I will not agree with it. Okay. So anyone complain to you that cigarette price has increased like that? No one. But they will complain petrol price has increased, vegetable price has increased. But will they come and say cigarette price increased, so I stopped consuming? No, definitely no. They will beg, borrow, steal, something they will do. So in order to satisfy their desire, then just because high rate you are levying, why will they stop? They will not stop. You got it? So this is these are the features of indirect taxes that we have. Then now we will see the goods. So now you understood the first aspect. What is the first aspect? What is GST and how GST is formed? This is the first aspect that we have discussed so far. For last 1 hour, we spent time in understanding what is GST now. Okay. So how GST is formed? What are the goods on which GST is levied is what we are trying to understand. On alcohol, is there a GST? Alcohol, GST is there or not there? No, there is no GST on alcohol. Why there is no GST on alcohol? You know the reason? No, or you don't know? If you know, tell me. Okay, alcohol is a revenue to the state government. But is GST single GST or dual GST in India? Dual GST. So 50% will go to central government, 50% will go to state government. Correct. You pay GST 18% when you join for classes. 9% will go to central government. Remaining 9% will go to state government. Means India is following single GST model or dual GST model? Dual GST model. Then state will get, even on alcohol if there is GST, state will get. So why are you telling that it will be loss of revenue to state government or state government will not get? They are getting. That's all. They don't want to give 50% share. You understood? Full for me only. I will not sit with anyone. Got it? One drop also I will not give to central government. Why? Because in Constitution, what they did, 7th schedule to the Constitution, they have clearly mentioned that tax on alcohol will come in the state list. 7th schedule to the Constitution has union list, state list, concurrent list. What are the powers with respect to central government? What are the powers of levy to the state government? And what are all the common powers between central and state government called as concurrent list, like that they created in the Constitution. End of the day, if anything to be done, it is as per Constitution. Constitution is like a rule book. You got it? So according to Constitution only we need to follow everything. You understood? So if you do something and say that, no, this is my wish, I will do like that. No. For example, some people and all will be removing their shirt and removing their pant and walking on the road. That has become a fashion now. What to do? So, is it an offense or not an offense? My dress, my body, what is your problem? Like that they cannot say, because Constitution says that you cannot do like that. If you do like that, it is an offense. Are you getting this? Like that, there are certain things you cannot do as per your wish anything. So there are certain guidelines, rules that we need to follow. Accordingly, tax on alcohol was given to whom? Union list or state list? State list. Why it was given to state list? Because this has a history. The moment when we got independence, Mahatma Gandhi ji said to Ambedkar, even Nehru also, that our Indians are dumb fellows. These people will consume liquor and they will forget themselves and they will become so dumb. Let's abolish liquor in India. Again, some other idiot will come and start ruling us. So now that we fought this much to make the Britishers leave, now again tomorrow some other idiot will come. Possible or not? And Britishers could come, some other person also can come. And so if people are active, then they will not be coming. So if people needs to be active, let's abolish alcohol. But Nehru did not agree. He said, Gandhi ji, if we abolish liquor, then how the states will get the revenue? Because that's a revenue source. Kingdoms and all survived through selling liquor. Got it? It is not the story today. It is not the story today like how Tasmak is the major source of revenue to Tamil Nadu government. Once upon a time, for many kingdoms, like this Tasmak was only the major source of revenue. For your information, Tasmak is the divine place where they sell the nectar. You understood or not? So liquor they will be selling. That is what Tasmak is. So these liquor shops is a major source of revenue, so we should not stop it. Then he said, okay, as central government we will not encourage. If state government want, we will leave it to the states. That's where it shifted from union list to state list. Now the states are telling, no boss, it is our money, we will not share with you. So remove the alcoholic liquor from the GST, because if you levy GST on alcohol, 50% will go to the center, we will not agree for it. Due to that reason, on alcohol there is no GST. You got it? And whether old indirect taxes will be continued on alcohol? Yes. At present also there is something called as state excise duty, not central excise duty, state excise duty. So who will levy? State government. State excise duty not got subsumed into GST. So state excise duty is continuing on manufacture of liquor, and on sale of liquor they need to pay sales tax and VAT. So this is still there even today. Will it come in future, sir? No, it will never come in future. So look into page number 10. Page number 10. Look into page number 10. Position of goods under GST after implementation of GST in comparison to earlier system. So alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So is there a GST on alcoholic liquor for human consumption? No. So the exclusion is permanent. It will never come into the ambit of GST. But what are the other things which are there at present? Like if GST is not there, then what is there? State excise duty, then central sales tax and value added tax. Then next. Sir, state excise duty levied by whom? State government. Name itself it is there, na? State excise duty, state government. So it will go to state government. CST levied by whom? CST. Full form is what? Levied by central government, but the revenue will go to state government. Remember, CST even though levied by central government, but the revenue will go to state government. So here you just write down CST even though levied by CST even though levied by central government, comma, revenue goes to state government. CST, even though levied by central government, revenue goes to state government. Done. Then next, second, petroleum products. Why petroleum products has attained some importance? Sir, today is the petrol price same in every state? No, petrol price is not same in every state. Sir, if we go to border, no, Karnataka border. In Karnataka, diesel price is 92 rupees. Karnataka. Tamil Nadu, the diesel price is somewhere like 99 rupees. Okay. So why this difference? What could be the reason? Definitely, if the tax is levied by central government, the rate will be same. Na? So which means the state governments got the liberty to levy the taxes to increase their revenue. But whom we blame? Central government we blame. Are you understanding? So here what happens is that state governments wanted to levy the taxes. If it is GST, na, state government cannot decide some rate. It's a common rate that will be shared between CG and SG. State government don't have any say. So state government wanted some separate revenue. That's why they were adamant in bringing petroleum product into the ambit of GST. They did not agree. They said if petrol needs to come into the ambit of GST, we will not agree for implementation of GST. So due to that reason, petrol has been excluded. But this exclusion is temporary only. As and when it is decided by all the states, it will come into the ambit of GST. Until that point of time, it is not into the ambit of GST. So the exclusion is permanent or temporary? Temporary. But when they are going to decide, God only knows. 2017. Every batch I am telling this only. So 2024. Okay. So still they did not bring it into the ambit of GST. But as per law, so exclusion is temporary. Whenever they decide, it will come into that. Then, so there is no GST on petroleum products. So what are the petroleum products on which there is no GST? See the footnote. Total 5 petroleum products. Crude oil. Crude oil means whatever we get from the earth. Okay, crude form. Okay, raw material, crude oil. Then petrol, diesel, you know that, processed, refined. And then aviation turbine fuel, the fuel which is used in the flights, aeroplanes, etc. Then natural gas, the CNG. Lot of autos, 4-wheelers and all today runs on CNG, na, that one. Okay, not LPG. LPG also gas, CNG is also gas. LPG is the gas which we use at home. That is not petroleum product. You getting? Means not covered under this petroleum product. That is a petroleum product only, not covered under this petroleum products. But CNG is there. CNG is what? Vehicles and all will use, na? That is CNG. That is covered under petroleum product on which there is no GST. Then on LPG there is GST or not? LPG there is GST or not? Yes. Because in this 5 LPG is not there. So there is GST. If you have doubt in your house, cylinder you buy, na? Correct? Bill they will give. See the bill, there is GST on that. On gas bill there is GST. Whenever you buy a cylinder, what, 900 rupees something, no, cylinder rate, on that there is GST. You can see the moment you get the bill, you can see there is GST on LPG. On CNG only there is no. So what are the 5 petroleum products? Come on. Crude oil, petrol, diesel, aviation turbine fuel and natural gas. These are the 5 petroleum products on which there is no GST. Then at present, what are the duties that are applicable? Central excise duty, not state excise duty. Remember, state excise duty is only on liquor, only on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So central excise duty, then on sale we need to pay CST and VAT. Okay. Then tobacco and tobacco products. See the third one, tobacco and tobacco products. On tobacco and tobacco products, we have GST plus old indirect taxes called as central excise duty is also there. Why, sir? Because they want to levy more tax. So on these products, when they levy more tax, people will pay. Just now I said, nah, people will not complain. People will definitely not complain when they like something. It's like, I saw one Instagram video reel that around some 50 people are standing in a line for buying biryani. Okay, Anna Nagar, one place, in one auto, one share auto kind of, one luggage auto, they are bringing yellow biryani. Okay, for that yellow biryani, so in banana leaf they will put the biryani and they will give, it seems 150 rupees only, mutton biryani, and for that 50 to 60 people are standing in the line. Okay, but for the sake of any government reason, if they are standing, will they stand? No, they will complain. Why? Because if you force them and if they stand, they will complain. Voluntarily they don't have any issue. Like that, tobacco they like, they want, so they will not complain. So levy, put some additional duties also. Accordingly, central excise duty is also there and CST is also there. Okay, so CST is also there, central excise duty, but sales tax is not there, CST VAT is not there. Then on all other goods there is only GST, so old indirect taxes not applicable. You got it? So now old indirect tax is limited only to few goods, correct? Central excise duty is now applicable for what? You can see the table and tell. Central excise duty is applicable at present for what? Petroleum products and tobacco products. CST and VAT is applicable at present for what? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petroleum products. Understood? So central excise duty is now limited to two products. What are those two products? Petroleum products, tobacco products. And CST and VAT is now limited to only two products. What are they? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petroleum products. State excise duty is there, which is not subsumed into GST. Okay. Then, sir, what about services? All services are covered under GST. We don't have anything like this. Now, what are the two goods which are not at all coming under GST? See the same table and tell me, what are the two goods which are not at all coming into GST? Means into, cross. What are they? Alcohol and petroleum products. So these are called as non-taxable supplies. So what are non-taxable supplies under GST? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petroleum products. Understood? So these two are called as non-taxable supplies under GST. Now, so now one illustration for you. I'll give you 5 minutes time. You just read this and write there whether GST is applicable or not and give the justification, reason. And today you can write in pen also, no issue, but bring one pencil daily, okay, so that here you try to write in pencil. If it is a mistake, we can erase and rectify, that's why. Finished? Okay. So kerosene oil, whether GST is applicable or not applicable? Applicable. Why? Is it a petroleum product? No, it is not a petroleum product. Kerosene oil is not a petroleum product. Crude oil, petrol, diesel, aviation turbine fuel and natural gas. Kerosene oil is not in the list. As it is not in the list, it is not a petroleum product. So when it is not a petroleum product, if it is a petroleum product, GST not applicable. As it is not a petroleum product, GST will be applicable. Cooking wine, GST applicable or not applicable? Applicable. Why? Is it alcoholic liquor for human consumption? No, cooking wine don't have alcohol. You understood? So cooking wine, just because the wine is there, no use, waste it is. It don't have any alcohol content. So not an alcoholic liquor. Not an alcoholic liquor. Then liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. Already I told you, GST applicable. Reason? Not a petroleum product. Not a petroleum product. Beer? It's an alcoholic liquor. But sir, the alcohol element is very lesser. Let it be. Lesser, more, it has an alcohol. So therefore, it's an alcoholic liquor for human consumption. No GST on that. Okay. Then cough syrup containing alcohol. Applying the same logic, then there should not be GST now because it contains alcohol. But the type of alcohol that is present in the cough syrup is not for human consumption. As it is not for human consumption, due to that reason, GST will be applicable. Even though it has alcoholic liquor, such alcohol is not for human consumption. So we cannot buy 30 ml cough syrup and drink. Na? You understood? Quarter cough syrup, they will die if they drink like that. So such alcohol is not for human consumption. Then engine oil, GST applicable or not applicable? Yes, applicable. Again, it is not in the list of 5 products, correct? Crude oil, no. Petrol, diesel, aviation turbine fuel, natural gas, no. So it is not a petroleum product. As it is not a petroleum product, so GST will be applicable. Okay, now, so what is the type of GST that we have? I mean, single GST or dual GST? Dual GST. So what is the difference between single GST and dual GST model? In single GST model, only one government will be collecting the tax. Whereas income tax is a single tax model. Who is collecting income tax? Central government. Thereafter, in every budget, they will be allocating it to the states. That's where lot of times there will be dispute between central government and state government. So state governments will say, we contributed this much, but you are not allocating to us like that. Yes, it happens because, see, that is what sovereignty of this country. So wherein few states are really contributing and few states are enjoying. That's true. So that's how India is made. Now you cannot say, no, give us a separate kingdom. So make state a separate country, like that you cannot ask. Because, so few states may not be able to generate revenue because of the conditions prevailing over there, the opportunities prevailing over there, the level of intelligence of the people, economic activity, there are a lot of reasons. So if you see these backward states, heavily backward states like Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Sikkim, these are all northeastern states. In these northeastern states, they don't have industries, they don't have any great economic activity. There it is full of forest and full of this natural way they get the agricultural produce kind of, and they need to survive on that. They don't have any other source of income. So now they also need certain infrastructure, na? So that's why this tax revenue will be used over there. That's how it is made. So I am telling you this because some states may not be happy because of this. They feel like, so we are getting a very lesser percentage. That's why in GST they did not agree for single tax model. Income tax already we are losing. In GST also if you lose, then there won't be anything left for us. But now in dual GST model there is a guarantee, 50% is ours. Are you getting this? But what if it is a single tax model? There is no guarantee. Now we may get 50% or we may get 20%, we may get 10%. Due to that reason, states do not want the single tax model when it comes to GST. So that's why we have in India dual GST model. So this dual GST model is adopted from Brazil and Canada. So across the country, there are many countries, across the globe in many countries, there is GST. Singapore there is GST, Dubai there is GST, so many countries there is GST. India also GST. India is the 161st country to implement GST. Before India, already 160 countries have implemented GST. Not that we have founded it something great, we did not invent it or we did not discover it, already it was there, we just copied it. But in many countries, what type of GST model was prevailing or is prevailing? Single. Only in few countries we have dual GST model like Brazil and Canada, and we copied it from there. So India adopted dual GST model from which countries? Brazil and Canada. And what is dual GST model means? On the common amount, both central government and state government levy tax. That is known as dual GST model. For example, you go to a restaurant and you eat food for 500 rupees. Now what is the rate of GST on restaurant? 5%. That is 2.5% CGST and 2.5% SGST. What is the common amount here? 500 rupees. On the common base, central government also will levy GST, state government also will levy GST. This is known as dual GST model. Are you understanding this? So dual GST refers to levy of GST simultaneously by center and states on the common tax base. Okay. And India is a federal country. Why India is called as a federal country? Because both central government and state government has their respective powers. So both are having certain powers to do for their public. So due to that reason, state also needed some revenue na. For that we have dual GST model. Now, in this dual GST model you understood. So what are the types of GSTs that we have? First, GST is a dual GST model. In that, what are the types of GSTs that we have? You would have heard of CGST, SGST. There is something called as UTGST. There is something called as IGST and even compensation cess. These are the 5 types of GSTs that we have. What are the 5 types of GSTs? Come on. CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST and compensation cess. What is the full form of CGST? Try. Central Goods and Services Tax. SGST? State Goods and Services Tax. UTGST? Union Territory Goods and Services Tax. Super. IGST? Integrated Goods and Services Tax. Who will levy CGST? Name itself has central government. Who will levy SGST? State government. Okay. Who will levy UTGST? There is nothing like that called Union Territory government. Central government. Because Union Territories are under whose control? Central government control. So UTGST is levied by central government. IGST is also levied by central government. Okay. Now, which GST will be applicable? How to decide? For that, the transaction needs to be divided into 2. Intrastate supply and interstate supply. So supply is the transaction. So supply means supply of goods or services. The transaction, any transaction. I am taking classes. This is one supply. You are buying a product, that is one supply. Like that, every transaction is a supply. So that supply is divided into two: intrastate supply and interstate supply. What is intrastate supply? There are two factors: location of supplier and place of supply. These are the two factors. If these two in the same state or same union territory, then it will be called as intrastate supply. Okay. So what are the two factors which decides whether the supply is intrastate or interstate? Location of supplier and place of supply. Sir, what is location of supplier means? Whichever state the supplier is located, that is a location of supplier. Example, if you are registered in Tamil Nadu, Tamil Nadu is a location of supplier. Or if you have the fixed place of business in Andhra Pradesh, that Andhra Pradesh will be the location of supplier. Suppose if you do online transactions, so then the usual place of residence will be taken as a location of supplier. Example, there are a lot of YouTubers. These YouTubers will post lot of vlogs and all, and they will be getting revenue. Correct? Here, who is the supplier, who is the recipient? YouTube is supplier. Huh? No. Those vloggers who post the videos are the suppliers. Who is the recipient? No. YouTube is the recipient. Because who is paying revenue? Who is giving them money? If I put some video in YouTube, from where I will get revenue? YouTube. So YouTube is my recipient. I am the supplier, YouTube is the recipient. Now, I don't have a fixed business, correct? I don't have a establishment, etc. Because basically these vloggers, what they will do? They will go somewhere, taking the camera and shoot everything, and they will be posting, correct? So there is no limit. Whatever they needed, they will be posting, correct? Some people, in that also different genres are there. Some people will be posting videos related to food review. Some people will be posting related to what and all they do from morning to night, what kids will do, how kids will go for mucha kakka and all, and then what they will do. Only thing, inside bedroom they didn't take the camera, everywhere they are taking. Okay, this is one story. Another people, home tour they will do, bathroom tour, home tour and all. Correct all, na? And it will become easily for the thieves. They will tell, this is our main door, this is the door, and we have a terrace. In our terrace, no one will be coming, one person will be coming and sitting. You understood? So they will tell everything, and they will be telling about what and all their kids will be doing, which school they are going, which time husband will leave office, which time she will be alone. There is nothing like that called privacy. Now, if you tell everything, it will be easy enough for someone to come and hit that lady and take the jewels and go. And that too, shopping video. I went to GRT today. I purchased this necklace. Everything you are only telling. If I sit and watch your YouTube videos fully, I know completely what and all you have purchased. Correct? So, there is no limit. But for them, views are required. In these views, they will get the money. Where they are located, they don't have any place of business. The usual place of residence is there now. That will be taken as the location of supplier. You got it? Their residence address. So, what is the location of supplier? If they have a fixed setup or establishment, that establishment. Otherwise, the usual place of residence. Okay. Then, what is the place of supply? Place of supply is a technical term. It depends. Depending upon the transaction, the place of supply will vary. Sometimes location of recipient is the place of supply. Sometimes if it is service in relation to immovable property, where the immovable property is located, that will become place of supply. Example, say you are going to one hotel and you are staying in that hotel. Now where that hotel is located is the place of supply. You understood? Like that it will differ. We have a separate chapter on place of supply. So one chapter is there, chapter number 15, place of supply. There we will be learning for what transaction, what is the place of supply. It differs. Okay. So right now we don't have to bother about what is the place of supply, that we will be learning. But if the place of supply is determined, location of supplier and place of supply both in the same state or same union territory, then it will be called as intrastate supply. From this you tell me what is interstate supply. If location of supplier and place of supply is in two different states or two different union territories or a state and a union territory, then it will be called as interstate supply. Understood? So it is intrastate. Come again. Location of supplier, place of supply in the same state or same union territory. What is it? Intra. Location of supplier and place of supply is in two different states or two different union territories or a state and a union territory, then it will be called as interstate supply. If it is intrastate supply and in the same state, the type of GST will be CGST plus SGST. You got it? If it is intrastate supply, that too in the same state, what is the GST that we have? CGST plus SGST. If it is intrastate supply in the same union territory, it will be CGST plus UTGST. Got it? Suppose if it is interstate supply, the type of GST will be always IGST. Now you need to understand what are considered as union territories. Okay. Now you tell me what are the various union territories that we have. Andaman, next. Andaman and Nicobar. Lakshadweepa. Someone said Lakshadweep. Daman, Diu, Dadra, Nagar Haveli. This is one union territory now. Okay. Previously it was two. Now they merged. Daman, Diu, Dadra, Nagar Haveli. Next. Okay. Pondicherry. New Delhi. Good. Chandigarh. Okay, so these are the various union territories. Now, Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir is also union territory. Previously, Jammu and Kashmir was a state. Article 370 to the constitution got abrogated and they divided the state into two union territories. Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir and union territory of Ladakh. These are the various union territories, but in these union territories, three union territories will function like state only. Name only union territory, but it will function like state. What are those union territories? Means it has chief minister, assembly, cabinet of ministers, like a state only it will function. What are they? Pondicherry, good. Pondicherry is union territory only, but with state legislature. Next. New Delhi, then Jammu and Kashmir. These three are union territories with state legislature treated as state. So type of GST there will be SGST, not UTGST. Are you getting this? Whereas remaining 5 union territories are there na? Remaining 5 union territories. So for these remaining 5 union territories, it will be UTGST. Understood? So what are the 5 union territories in India which are not having state legislature? 5. Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Daman, Diu, Dadra, Nagar Haveli, Ladakh, and then Chandigarh. These 5. So the type of GST there will be UTGST. But remaining 3 union territories are there now. What are those remaining 3 union territories? Pondicherry or Puducherry. Next, Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir. These 3 are union territories with state legislature. So the type of GST there will be SGST. Understood? Okay. Now, if you have finished making note of this, you see page 8, in that page 8, you can see that illustration, the first illustration over there, and you can fill in the table. What is the nature of supply and the type of GST? Done? Say this. First one, location of supplier is Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Place of supply is Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. So what is the nature of supply? Intrastate. And what is the type of GST? CGST, SGST. Why SGST? Because Jammu and Kashmir is Union Territory with state legislature. Then location of supplier Union Territory of Ladakh and place of supply also Union Territory of Ladakh. Intra, within the Union Territory, intra. Type of GST? CGST plus UTGST. Very good. Why UTGST? Because Ladakh is a Union Territory without state legislature. Then third one, Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Union Territory of Ladakh. Inter. Type of GST? IGST. Last one, location of supplier Arunachal Pradesh and place of supply Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Same, interstate, and the type of GST will be IGST. Now listen, this IGST, actually India follows a dual GST model. Means CGST, SGST. 50% will go to center, 50% will go to state. But when it comes to IGST, fully it is collected by central government. But will it retain fully? No. If it retains fully, then the objective of dual GST model is defeated. So what they do is that 50% they will be giving to the consuming state based on place of supply. 50% they will give it to consuming state based on place of supply. Now you look into third case, third point. What is the place of supply? Third point in this, what is the place of supply? Union Territory of Ladakh. It is under whose control? Ladakh. Central government. So will there be 50% share to them? No. 100% retained by central government. 100% to central government. Then fourth point you see. Fourth point. In fourth point, what is the place of supply? Jammu and Kashmir. Is it given a separate like state status? Is it like a state? Yes. So will the central government retain 100% or they will give 50% to Jammu and Kashmir? 50% to Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Understood the difference? Both case IGST only pa, but in the third case IGST fully retained by central government because the place of supply is not a state. But in the fourth case, place of supply is a state, so they will be giving that to consuming state based on place of supply. Understood? State should be there. In place of supply, what should be there? State. State means either the state as such or Union Territory with state legislature. Now, continuing further, next illustration. You try this and you write now, including that 50%. To whom it will go? Try this. Supply already I have given, nature of supply. Other two columns only you need to fill. Okay. Look into the first one. Location of supplier Chennai, Tamil Nadu, place of supply Chennai, Tamil Nadu, therefore the nature of supply is intrastate. So what is the type of GST? CGST and SGST. CGST levied and collected by central government. SGST levied and collected by state government of Tamil Nadu. Then next one. Location of supplier Chennai, Tamil Nadu, place of supply Bengaluru, Karnataka. So the nature of supply will be interstate. The type of GST is IGST. In this IGST, will the 50% will be given to state government? Yes. Levied and collected by central government. And 50% to state government of Karnataka. Are you understanding this? The next one. Location of supplier Chennai, Tamil Nadu, place of supply Puducherry or Pondicherry, union territory having partial statehood, interstate supply. So type of GST will be IGST, levied and collected by central government. Will there be sharing here? Yes, and 50% to union territory of Puducherry or Pondicherry. Next, location of supplier Delhi and place of supply also Delhi, intrastate supply. So what is the type of GST? CGST and SGST or UTGST? SGST, because Delhi is union territory with state legislature. So CGST levied and collected by central government, SGST levied and collected by Delhi, union territory of Delhi. Then next, location of supplier Chennai, Tamil Nadu and place of supply Chandigarh union territory, interstate supply. So type of GST will be IGST. So who will be levying it? Central government. Will there be 50% share? No, because union territory without state legislature means completely it is retained by central government. So 100% retained. Then next, last, location of supplier Chandigarh, place of supply also Chandigarh. Nature of supply? Intrastate. Type of GST? CGST and UTGST. Very good. Why UTGST? Because Chandigarh is union territory without state legislature. So CGST levied by central government, UTGST is also levied by central government. So when both are levied by central government, then why do we have these two separate things? Just for accounting head purpose. How much union territories are contributing for the GST? We need to have an accounting head now. See, everything is expense only, but we divide salaries, wages, rent, like that. Why we divide our expenses? So should know how much is for what. Like that, accounting head they created. So how much UTGST is contributing, we need to know. That's why separate head is created, but both are levied by central government only. Understood? Then, so you can see here above types of GST in the previous page. In the previous page, you can see types of GST. So CGST, SGST, IGST and UTGST. So CGST is in which case? Intra or inter? Intra. CGST is intra, levied and collected by central government. Then SGST is also intra. In which case? Intra, levied and collected by state government. Both are on intrastate supplies, correct? CGST also intrastate supply, SGST also intrastate supply. But what is the difference? CGST levied and collected by central government, SGST by state government. IGST is in case of inter, and it is levied by central government and 50% shared with the consuming state based on place of supply. UTGST is in case of intra, collected by central government. You got it? Now, so what we have seen today is that we started with the introduction chapter. Before that, we have seen the question paper pattern and other aspects. And in this introduction, the first area we have seen is the difference between direct and indirect taxes. Then we saw how GST is formed. Then we have seen what are the various goods which are covered under the ambit of GST, non-taxable supply. And then we have seen the types of GST. So this is what we have seen so far. With this we will stop for today. Now first day itself too much load should not be there, and this difference between direct and indirect tax is a theory question already asked once. So you can see that in the practice manual, descriptive questions, page number 1, first question. Page number 1, first question is that only. Difference between direct taxes and indirect taxes. It is given in study material also, and it was asked in past exam once for 2 marks. So what are the 2 points that you need to remember? The first point is related to the burden. In case of direct tax, the one who pays will bear the burden. But in case of indirect tax, the person who pays will in turn collect it from the next person, so it is on the ultimate consumer. And next point you need to write about this progressive and regressive, the 2 points. Okay, these are the 2 things you need to write. Fine. So this is related to today's discussion. Like once we complete the chapter, we will see other questions also. So daily class you need to bring these 2 books. This luggage required. Okay. So bring this, because parallelly we will be covering both. So practice manual questions also we will be discussing. And one notebook you maintain, not required like one 200, 300 pages and all. A small notebook will also do. Okay. And just any extra points to write. And this daily handwritten notes is there. Now whatever I am writing, this will be shared with you. We will give you a Google Drive link. So tomorrow definitely it will be given to you, today evening or tomorrow. In that Google Drive link, the backup classes, and then this lecture notes will be there, daily lecture notes. In case if you miss writing anything also, it will be there, soft copy. You can see that. Plus one Excel sheet will be there to know in which day what portion we have completed. So that if you miss any class also, you will know which portion you have missed, so that you can watch the backup classes. Okay, fine. Thank you.